we give tens of thousands of small businesses loan guarantees to help them get the capital they need to grow and their business and add more jobs. We also have over 14,000 counselors out there every day helping small businesses think about how they go forward. And this will be another tool in the toolkit for them to work with small businesses. In addition, we help small businesses go get federal contracts that gives them the revenue and the oxygen they need to grow. So these partners that we have are very important for us and for our small businesses to grow and do our jobs, and we are very happy to have John and his team at Google as new partners as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
So today we're introducing a series of videos, and these videos are terrific. They're great fun, and we're going to show you one in a second. But they feature the tips and the tricks that small business owners should know to succeed online. Before we tell you more about the partnership, I think we'll all watch together one of the videos.
I'm Sean Vahey, co-owner of Humphrey Slocum Ice Cream in San Francisco.
We're a unique, adult-oriented ice cream shop.
We have over 100 flavors that rotate every day, sometimes 2 and 3 times throughout the day.
I think we're being successful because we're doing things our own way, and we're the quirky ice cream guys in the mission, and we're having fun. We started with online marketing because it was free. There's no time gap between what you're thinking about doing and actually doing it. It's immediate.
I don't have a lot of time to do marketing. I don't have a lot of time to sit down and reach out to people. I'm able to get on the computer, and 2 minutes later, I've gotten the word out.
We started with online marketing at suggestions from customers. People were asking us, why aren't you on Facebook? Why aren't you on Twitter? And we had no idea how much it would affect business. It just exploded.
Social media is a great opportunity for small businesses to target their customers in ways that have, like interests.
Twitter is a phenomenon. How we got to over 300,000 followers, I have no idea.
And it ended up turning into a great tool for us to use and announce our products and flavors and local happenings.
It really gives you the chance to communicate with your customers and build a relationship on a real-time basis.
We've actually brought back flavors because people have asked for them on Yelp and Twitter.
By having, a place on a social network, by having a place page on Google, you can always be updating this, always be communicating, always be putting forth information. It doesn't cost you anything, so you can do it as often as you want.
Google Place page is important because it's got all of our information in one spot. Our website, our phone number, you can see where we are on our map. You can even get directions, which I love.
Online marketing helps us reach international followers as well. It gets the word out there and it gets us into publications. We've been in newspapers in the UK, in Tokyo, and a local blog picked up a story about lard commerce we were doing. That day the New York Times called, and the next week we're in the New York Times. If we no longer had a web presence, I think it would hurt our sales by probably at least 20%.
Advice I'd give to small business owners using online marketing for the first time is get online, look around, have fun with it, and don't be afraid. Just make it happen.
But, John, as I understand it, you actually helped introduce a whole number of tools that fall under free marketing, always appealing to small business owners. Tell us about Google Earth, Google Maps, Google Places. I understand that 1 in 5 searches that happen on Google are because somebody needs to find a location.
Yeah, I mean, we're finding, I guess the big news that's happened in the past couple of years is people are turning to online to find information about their local places, the local stores that they would go to, local goods and services. People, in the past maybe thought about looking up information on the web and not necessarily about those kinds of local lookups, but they're happening in greater numbers. I think this year finally the line crossed and more people are actually using online rather than a traditional phone book or printed resource to get that kind of information.
So why is it so important for a small business to be online?
I mean, the key thing is that's where people are finding you. And I mean, people are going to discover your business online. People are going to form an opinion about you based on what they see when they type in that query. And so, I mean, I think everybody wants to put your best foot forward. And, you know, what we're encouraging to do and why we're so excited to be working with you guys is just to get the word out about how easy it is for people to improve how they appear that very first time when someone finds them online. And, you know, the neat thing about a lot of the online marketing is that it is free. And, you know, as a former entrepreneur, somebody who's, you know, started companies and, you know, been involved in that process, you know, free is really nice. You know, you've got a lot going on. But there's a ton that you can do to make the information accurate, as well as to add things about, you know, what kind of products you sell, what kind of brands you might carry, what kind of service you offer. You can upload photographs, which are really important. I mean, people are going to see and make a quality comparison between you and somebody else, partly based on, you know, it's just like a business card or a sign or a storefront. You know, people are going to form an opinion about how you look online. And so we just want people to understand that and take advantage of the free resources to, you know, put the best foot forward.
That's right. You can communicate so much more now online. All the visuals, all the information that people need will be right there. Now, we're very happy about this partnership, but tell us and tell everybody, what was it in your minds that made you want to partner with the SBA? What do you see in this partnership for you?
I'm a huge fan of startups and small business. I started 3 companies. I work for Google now, but prior to that, I didn't work for a company that had more than 30.
We call them a serial entrepreneur.
And it's fun, and you can see from the personalities of the people in the videos. I mean, it's just a fun group of people generally to be engaged with, a lot of motivated, really talented, creative people. You know, one of my companies actually benefited from an SBIC loan. So I understand the role that the SBA plays in terms of fostering entrepreneurship, giving advice, reinforcing, and just kind of being a resource for people that often are going through stressful times through the process of starting a company and pointing them to resources that can really benefit their business. One of the things that, you know, I think is invaluable and free is just understanding everything that you can do online to make your business successful. And, you know, I think 600,000 new businesses are created every year, and about that many kind of go away. You know, you want to do everything you possibly can to make sure you're one of the businesses that make it. And it's good for those businesses, it's good for the economy, and, you know, we're excited to be working with you guys to get that information out. With the videos, we also prepared a booklet about online tools that people can use that we're providing for distribution through some of the 1,400 SBA sort of touch points with local business.
Yeah. So we're very pleased about this, and these booklets are going to be available through our small business development centers and our partners, our SCORE counselors that are out there. And what you said is exactly right. Small businesses need all the help that they can get to guide them through, because it's very hard to build a business, as we're going to hear about. But we have help. We have counselors, and actually we know from our data that when a small business has a counselor, it has better sales, better profits, hires more people, more longevity. So we want to make sure that every small business has a chance to get all the help and advice that they need, and from our counselors, it's free. It's a free service. So now we're going to be able to also guide them with some of the tools that you gave us, including this booklet, which is great. So let's talk about social media. The number on the video of the tweets that were going on, or the Twitter community, I guess, that the ice cream shop has was pretty remarkable. What's happening in social media, and how important is it for a small business?
Yeah, Twitter's an amazing story, and I had an opportunity to visit those guys in their office not too long ago. Great little company, a lot of energy, 40 million, I think, unique visitors per month in terms of consumers. So a lot of people are into this Twitter thing. I mean, I think generally, in terms of what's going on with social, a few years ago it was all about building a website. And I think maybe some people got turned off on the internet because building a website for small businesses in particular is a complicated endeavor. What's gone on since then is that there are a number of places where you can go and basically configure your profile online. It's a very simple thing that a business owner can do yourself. You can get help with that, but it's a much, much simpler thing than constructing a website and HTML and all of that. So things like Google Places, where you can go in and claim your listing online, upload photographs. It's a simple form that you can fill out in a few minutes. Filling out your Twitter profile, the same thing, very easy to do. Facebook, Yelp. So that's something that people should take advantage of, because there's this whole dialogue happening by your customers about you that if you're not there, if you haven't registered, created your profile, and you're not paying attention, you're not hearing what people are saying about you when you're not around. And it's kind of a, makes you cringe to some extent to think that people are talking about you, whenever you're not there listing. But you can participate in that conversation. You can hear really honest feedback. You can hear praise and love. The ice cream entrepreneurs that we just saw have lots and lots of followers, but you may also hear people criticizing your service. There was a thing recently in one of our listings where they had a bad Valentine's Day. So it was a restaurant, they had a real crunch, they weren't really well prepared, and there was a lot of complaints about the service and the way things that had gone in that particular restaurant. That's something you want to be aware of, just to know you can plan better next time, or maybe make some adjustment in your business.
Listening to your customer, this is an interesting aspect, because small businesses know that if they can get really good and important feedback early, they can make changes and adjustments. Small businesses can be very nimble, and I hadn't thought about that. That is an extraordinary benefit. Talk just a little bit more about the maps. You can actually go claim your site in Google Maps and own your site, right, and put in your own profile, so when that place comes up on the map, it's the small business owner who has put in the information.
Yeah, we created Google Places because we found that a lot of small businesses didn't have websites. And so there are now tools, Google Sites is one, there are other tools that you can use to create a full-blown website. But if you're not, if you don't want to do that, or you just want to make sure that wherever your business information shows up, you can claim your place on Google. So it's called Google Places. You can go there and register it, and once you take control of it as a business owner, you get to verify that all the information is correct. You can make sure that the right phone number is there, that it has the right opening and closing hours, that it's accurate information about what products that you sell, and then that shows up wherever somebody might do a search for a business. And more those searches are happening. Those searches are happening on mobile phones, and with Google and Google Places, it makes sure that you have a nice, concise summary that shows up quickly and fast on mobile phones. So that's another really good reason to do that. But I would encourage people to, you want to claim on Google, but you want to do that on Facebook, you want to do it on Twitter, you want to do it in all the relevant places that people are going to discover your business. Right, you want to have your profile
in every place, and you want to make sure it's accurate, and that as a small business, you're putting your best foot forward and your best profile up where everybody can see it. Now, some of this stuff is free, and then you can turn to online advertising. And a lot of small businesses have a wide variety of advertising that they do in different kinds of publications. Tell us about online advertising.
Yeah, I think there are really three basic steps, as you said. One is just make sure that the way people are seeing you is good. Claim your listing and sort of take care of that. The second thing you might want to do is start engaging in some of the social communications by posting updates that you can do on a number of services to let people know what's happening with your business, specials that you might be running, and things like that. And then kind of the third step, and you can take all of this slow and at your own pace, might be to begin experimenting with taking advantage of search advertising or some of the other ad products out there. One of the things that's happened is there are a number of ad products that are a lot simpler to use than they used to be. Google has a product called Tags, which is $25 a month, flat rate type of thing. The same on Yelp, on City Search, you can get these very simple ad products. So it doesn't have to be a scary thing.
Well, that's on the video. They said, take it step by step, but put your toe in the water and see what works for you. And yeah. I guess this is the kind of thing that you can see what works and adjust it pretty quickly.
It is, and when you get into search advertising, you can start really small. I've started campaigns with nonprofits and small businesses that I work with just as friends, and you can start with a budget of very small, $5 or $10 a month. Understand how the system works.
$5 or $10 a month, right?
Start exploring what keywords make sense for your business, and just kind of see that feedback loop. I think the most important thing for anyone to do before they start advertising is to think about, what do you want to happen with your advertising? What are you trying to accomplish? Do you want people to call you? Do you want them to come into your store? What is your goal? Because what you want to do is create a feedback loop so that you can see that I've spent a little bit of money online and it resulted in a new booking in my teaching school, or a new customer calling me and making an appointment. So you want to think about exactly what you want to achieve, and then craft your advertising to drive people to do that, and then monitor that very closely. The great thing about advertising on the internet is it's totally transparent. So it's not like you just spend the money and hope that something good happens. You can spend the money very incrementally and then watch exactly what happens. And you can understand that, hey, if I spent $50, $100 this month on advertising, that generated $300 in sales for me, $500 in sales. So you know that it's a good investment for you.
Well, this is, I think, the really exciting thing about all of these online options is that you as a small business can get immediate feedback and adjust. And $5 to $10 a month is, an investment that all of the small businesses can afford. So I think it's just about that first step, putting the toe in the water. So, Susan, you can maybe help us walk through this and your experience. But first, you've worked in a lot of famous restaurants, actually, and then you started a small business. Tell us about CulinAerie.
CulinAerie is a recreational cooking school located downtown Washington, D.C., 6 blocks from the White House. Recreational means we do no professional training.
Yet?
Malia's been there. I have to be very discreet. We don't post that on our Facebook page, but she was there for a birthday party, so I did have pictures of me and Malia making pasta, but it's neither here nor there. So we opened in November of '08 with the idea that coming downtown would give us the opportunity to get a lot of corporate, legal, convention and visitors bureau, team building, team bonding business. November of '08, of course, was when the economy tanked. And a lot of corporations were not spending that elaborate kind of money on outings such as cooking classes. So we turned to our individual classes, which is about 40% of our component of what we do in terms of offerings. And they were very popular. So we do a lot of knife skills, sauces, pastas, basics classes, 12-week master series for people who want to take their cooking to the next level. But again, it's all for people who have an interest in food and wine and want to explore it on a recreational basis, but don't want to go to cooking school necessarily.
So tell us about your experience with online tools. You said you started your business, the recession went down, and I guess you had told me earlier you looked around your marketing budget and it kind of disappeared.
Exactly. We took on investors to open this business because we do have a bricks and mortar entity downtown, 3,800 square feet. So our build out was unique, which meant fairly expensive. And so we raised capital all along the way. And then when we opened, the market and the economy were not good. And so the last bit of capital that we needed, which was directed to our marketing and PR, was not there. So to compensate, we ended up taking absolutely everybody that walked in. We used to pull people out from the street. If they paused, come in, let me show you. For a long time we did that. And then a good friend of mine who owns a business in Washington said, you need to take more advantage of your website. So we have a website. It has an e-commerce function, which was an initial capital outlay, of course, but we knew that we didn't want to take all of these reservations over the telephone. So we developed the e-commerce function for our business, which was a learning experience, shall we say. And then this friend of mine said, you need to optimize your website. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, when people search for kids' recreational camps or sports camps, we come up first because we've done certain things to make our pages popular with the way that people are searching. So I said, tell me who to talk to. So he directed us to the person who does this for them, Missy Cook, and she walked us through our website. She looked at each page. We looked at, via Google Analytics and keyword tools that Google provides for free, the way people search for us. So cooking schools, cooking classes, team building, team bonding, birthday parties, bridal showers, all these things we do, they're all on our homepage. But at that point, we were still the two English major baby boomer chefs that we are, my business partner and I, and we thought, if we build it, they will come. And it didn't happen that way. We needed to do more. So we did this search engine optimization. We loaded our website with keyword-rich text, cooking schools, which is the #1 way people search for us, and our business increased 300%.
300%?
300%. It was the least expensive and the best bang for the buck. Almost immediately, and it's consistent. So we did a search engine optimization a year ago, and it's been consistently 300%. You know, it stays, it's static, it doesn't drop.
I think we should just, pause on that for a minute. And we saw from the video that another business owner saying he thought if they weren't engaged in the online and the social media, that the business would drop.
I can't even imagine not doing it and what it does for us. And we do Facebook, Twitter to a much less extent, but someone manages our Facebook page and it has huge return. But
So
essentially,
what do you get from your Facebook page? How does that work?
let's say we have a class that's got relatively low enrollment, or let's say we have a celebrity chef, and we have a number of celebrity chefs, Carla Hall from Top Chef, and Rock Harper, who won Hell's Kitchen in season 3, and sushi experts and Thai experts, and so
they come and
do
celebrity classes.
Yes, and we trot them out because they're big names, and people who do Facebook and Twitter often watch the Food Network, so that's what they like. And then we get them in, and then they start to take the knife skills classes and the sauces classes, or they book a private event for their company, which is still 60% of what we do, team building and team bonding. But the key is to get them in the door. And I will ask, I just asked this last week to, I can't drop the name, but a big company here, and they're worldwide CFOs, and I asked them, because a lot of them had heard of us, and I said, so how did you hear of us? And I'm thinking they're going to say, oh, well, my daughter was at a birthday party, or my secretary took a knife skills class. Google. They Google us. They Google us all the time. Still, to this day, 60% of our organic traffic is from Google. 25% is direct, so they come to us directly, meaning they're repeats. But 60% is still Google.
And this is very interesting because, as you said, you're a bricks and mortar business.
Yes.
And there's a lot of small businesses who are on Main Street. They have one location or 2 locations, and they say, well, why do I need to be on the web around the world? And the answer is because it will drive traffic to your door. It will tell people what you do and how to get there, and they'll search for you and find you.
Yes, and the Google Places, we show up. So yes, they could click on our website, and there's a hyperlink on the Google Places to our website. But it's easier for them to be right on that one page and not be redirected, and they can see all our information, our phone number, where we're located. Because Washington, for those of us who've lived here a long time, it's very easy to get around, but for a lot of people it's complicated. So, but it takes a long time to know. So if you look at a map and you can see exactly where we are at Thomas Circle, 6 blocks from the White House, it's a visual that people remember. So.
And is this experience pretty routine for small businesses when they get involved with these tools? Do they see 300% increases, or is this a one-off, unusual thing?
Well, I certainly hope that they could all see a 300% increase. That's fantastic in terms of the results. I think there's an opportunity for businesses to make themselves stand apart by being early adopters of these technologies. So I think those businesses that go and take advantage of these tools and put themselves at the front of the list, by making sure that their online presence looks great, certainly have a wonderful opportunity to grow their business.
So in a minute, we're going to take some questions, I think, from the viewers who are online and out there. So think about your question and follow the instructions. And I'll just ask you one other question here. Are there any don't do's about advertising on the web or getting on the web? One might be don't try to do too much too fast, I guess, to take some steps. Any advice from your experience?
I think the main thing is to stay engaged. I mean, if you need to go out there and create your profile and put your sign up on the internet, but then you also need to check back in and listen to what people are saying and engage back with them. A lot of the direction that kind of things are going now is hearing what people are saying, but then as a business owner, communicating back out, addressing complaints or problems that people may observe, and just talking about where your business is growing, what's new and exciting. But stay with it and stay engaged in that conversation.
I can't think of any don'ts exactly, and something to remember is that if you look at your business as a small business owner, you think, I cannot do without mixers in my case, or I cannot do without a pot washer. Web and online tools and social media are also something that are not dispensable. They really are not. And if you told me this a year ago, I would have said, oh, no. We know what we're doing, we're good at what we do. They'll come in, we'll build a business. We would have, I think, eventually, but not nearly as swiftly and not nearly as easily.
So it's not an option, right? It's not an
right,
optional
exactly.
thing.
It's not an option.
It's a cost of doing business,
Yes.
and it's a very effective cost of doing business because it's going to drive your marketing and your volume right to your door.
Absolutely.
So one of the things I'm sure folks out there who are small businesses are going to be asking is, how do I get advice on this? How do I get to these videos? There's a whole series of these videos, and they're very fun, actually. And the answer is that we've got a site, devoted to it, which is www.google.com/help/SBA. And you can also go to SBA.gov, and we have a link to that site right on our homepage. So we hope that small businesses will take a look, get access, and they can walk into their counselor's office soon and avail themselves of the paper version as well, which will help walk them through the process. So we'd be delighted now, I think, to take some of your questions, which I believe will come up here on the screen. So we'll see what you're thinking. So the question is, how does the SBA help small businesses stay current on technological innovations? And this is really sort of right down our sweet spot for this conversation. We at the SBA have worked very hard to make sure that small businesses, who really can be very much on the cutting edge, can access things that they need from us, the tools that they need. So we have worked very hard on online training. We have online training for how do you get into government procurement. We know there's a lot of volume opportunities, but you can go to our website and see a video on government procurement. And take an online training course, 45 minutes, and know the ins and the outs of it. It's the same with the how-tos on exporting, because for exports and small businesses, you might not have a dedicated person who can know about the export forms. It has to be the small business owner that does everything. So we are pretty committed in our small business training centers and in our counseling centers, and on our website, which is SBA.gov, to providing help to small business. But we knew we needed to do more. And that's why this partnership with Google has been really important, because this is a very powerful help to small businesses. But we learned when we went and partnered in our broadband expansion that many, many small business owners have a website, but they don't use e-commerce. Over 90% probably have a website, but only about a quarter use e-commerce. So we knew we had to develop these partnerships and provide information in a pretty easy-to-use format, these videos, to walk people into the experience, and then small business owners usually take it from there. Any thoughts on
I mean, I think it's great to have the opportunity to help educate small businesses about these free tools that are available. I mean, it's frustrating for me to watch. You see the large companies take advantage of what you can do for free on the internet, and you see sort of internet-focused businesses taking advantage of that. But there's just so much that regular brick-and-mortar businesses can do that they're not doing today that's free. And so it's just something that we want to get that word out as broadly as possible so people can help grow their businesses.
And I will say this is important for consumer-oriented businesses who want to reach, individuals. It's also important for business to business, and that may be something that you want to talk about as well. That sometimes if you're trying to find a supplier, or sometimes if you're trying to make yourself visible to other business customers, they're looking on the web as well.
Absolutely, and I mean, of course, we want to grow exports, in this country, and there's no better way to, have an international presence than to have a great internet presence. So I think it's particularly important for B2B companies, especially those that may have a desire to grow or do international trade.
So maybe we can take another question. Okay, do search engine optimizers work for keyword search rankings? Is that right? John, what do you think?
Interesting. Do search engine optimizers work for keyword search ranking? I may have to give that one to Susan. I mean,
thanks, John. Look at the time. We're at time. No. It did for us. We loaded our pages and our page titles with keyword-rich text that, again, we discovered by doing analytics, by finding how people searched for us. It's not It's not a club, it's not illegal, it's just something that you do, and you can find through the keyword tool that Google provides for free. You can find how people search for you, as I said before, and then accordingly you follow suit and you put it in your text. I'll give you a perfect example why it was important we did this. My business partner and I went to cooking school 20-something years ago, long before people referred to it as CulinAerie. It was cooking school. And so one thing we knew we did not want on the website was cooking school. We didn't want people to search for us looking for a professional school and find out that what they got was us, which is only a recreational school. Turns out cooking school is how people search for cooking classes. So reluctantly, we loaded cooking school on all our pages, and that's how people find us. So it is important.
Yeah, I mean, I guess more broadly than just sort of search engine optimization, I think the key point is that you're able to really understand and get new insights into how customers think about you, you know, and how they search for you is a big part of how they think about you. What are they really coming to you for? What products are they most interested in? And learning that from Google Analytics, Google Places will tell you what keywords people are using to find your business. It will show you zip codes of people that are coming to visit your business, so you may gain insights into where your customers are coming from that you didn't have before. You can use that to tailor all aspects of your business. You can certainly change your web page to make sure that you're speaking to those desires that people have and that you're learning about. You know, I think there are all kinds of benefits of just knowing what people are really interested in when they think about your business category.
It's true. As a small business, you're very proprietary about it. You think, it's my business, I know what I'm doing, and I know best. You're only a business as far as making your customers happy. And if you don't make them happy, or if you can't convey what your vision is to them, then you're not going to stay in business. So part of that is staying in touch with them all the time.
This is, I think, a really critical point, which is that this is a two-way street. And this online relationship that you have allows you to get enormous valuable information really on a quick and timely and cost-effective way. So you don't have to go out and survey as much. You know, you're getting the information real time, and then you can feed it back into your product. I know the ice cream folks do on the flavors, and then find out if it works, if it drives traffic. I think we have a couple more questions. Will the Google booklet online tools be available for download as a PDF?
They definitely will, and I believe on that same page. It's linked from our blog. I'm being told from the sidelines here. So yes.
From the sidelines. All right.
So definitely,
so
you can just get it.
So we will figure out
right
how to
away
have
online.
that as a you know, something that you all can distribute, and we'll make sure that people know where to go to get it and download it. That's great. I have actually seen this booklet, and it is quite good. I know we are all online, but sometimes it's nice also to have the booklet with you and refer to it, and sort of it walks you through what should you do first and what would be a good second step, and how might you just engage in this process. I think that's what a lot of small business owners, they want to be online, they want to do this, they just got to get that toe in the water.
And the first step is, I just can't emphasize enough, it's really easy to go and register on Facebook, register on Google Places. It's literally a 5-minute process to take that first step.
All right,
and
so
then you
that's
can
the
grow
first
from
thing
there.
everyone should do. Go register on Facebook, on Google Places, on a couple things that just need your information, right? And that's something that the booklet shows you how to do, and I think you see in a lot of the videos, too, that people talk about how they did it themselves. Another question. My new internet business is about to go online. Congratulations, that's great. What if I get hundreds of orders right away? Oh, that would be... How can I prepare for possibilities like this? Well, I do love this toolkit. You know, one of the things that you might think about if you're about to launch your business is making sure that you have thought through sort of the next step. And I will say that that is one of the places that an SBA counselor can help you. And right now we have 14,000 counselors all across the country. There's a location within 45 minutes to an hour of most small businesses and the Small Business Development Center. If you go to our website at sba.gov, you can find the closest one. Or if you're an online kind of person, which it looks like our question asker might be, we have a partnership with SCORE, and SCORE counselors are retired or former business owners like yourself, and you can probably find a business owner who is in that same business and get some online counseling. We do a tremendous amount of our counseling now with SCORE online, and that might be an easy way to get some advice on that particular question. So the good news might be hundreds of orders, and that would be a good outcome.
At Google, we call that a success failure. So I think that's very exciting.
You have some experience with those, right?
At Keyhole, which was a company that created the Google Earth technology, before we were bought by Google, at one point we got a lot of attention online, and we literally had that situation where you had hundreds of orders, pouring in, and no way to deal with it. And so, we piled everything up on a table. That was back in the day when we were still shipping, CDs out to people. Nobody does that anymore. But we just worked through those orders, and it was actually, that's a lot of fun. So I hope that person isn't really worried about that.
Yeah, that might be good. Another question. Would you recommend pay-per-click campaigns, and how much of your marketing budget would you recommend if you're just starting out? Did you do a pay-per-click campaign?
We did. I don't know how transparent I should be about this. We did it, and then money was so tight, we just thought from a cost-benefit perspective, let's just back off for a minute. And so when we were looking at our analytics a couple days ago, we noted that some of our traffic had fallen off, and it dovetailed with the end of the advertising campaign. So in a small but meaningful measure, it depends. The great thing about the advertising, the click advertising, is that you can look at it for a month. You can sign up for a month. If it's not working for you, you stop it. It's not like you have to sign on for a year.
Well, this is really, I think, the great thing for small businesses. It's a perfect fit with this online world because you can take it on in small bites. You can get immediate feedback. There's a lot of free options where you can test the water, and if things seem to be working, go the next step and the next step and the next step. So there's a real synergy with a small business, which can't do a big commercial or advertising campaign without putting a lot of money on the table. And this is a good way, I think, to find out what's the right message, what's resonating, who's answering, and do it step by step, sort of month by month. It's a great
Yeah,
way.
I mean, to the point, pay-per-click advertising or search advertising, you can actually adjust that on a daily basis.
All right.
And you can start really small. So, the wonderful thing about the internet generally is that it's transparent. So as you said, it's not like the old days if you bought a full-page newspaper ad and you don't really know what's going to happen. You hope some more people walk through the door. With online advertising, with search advertising, and particularly pay-per-click advertising, you are paying only when somebody directly responds to your offer and engages with you. I think for brick-and-mortar businesses, the key thing is tying those clicks to real business actions that you can measure that you want the user to take. So you want to know if your online campaign drove somebody to come into the store or to call you, for example. So some things you can do are to take advantage of coupons. Offers and coupons are a huge thing on the web right now, and it's because it gives a business owner, and you guys as business owners are probably familiar with this from the offline world, but it works really well online. You can know if your spend caused the person to come in because they're redeeming that offer that they got through the online channel. So you can create a coupon, on a site like Google Places. There are new sites like Groupon that focus only on online coupon offers, but you can then track that spend, that click spend, and know that your $1, $100, $1,000 investment netted you a 25% ROI, in terms of generating additional revenue and profit for you.
And once again, this is a very important tool also for business-to-business selling in small businesses. We have lots of small businesses out there who are suppliers, and maybe their regular customer base in this recession has gone down or gone away, and we've had automotive suppliers now find that they can sell robotics to the Department of Defense. So they have other places, and we know that companies are always looking for that small, innovative product, and that company that's taking their technology the next level has that exact product which is the right fit. So getting out there, even if you're business to business, with an offer, everybody likes an incentive, will be able to get more business in, and also you'll be able to see what works. So it's a great fit for business to business as well.
And if you're selling online as a B2B business, you can actually put in place tracking to know if that click from your search click campaign results in a sale on your site. And if you know your profit margin, then you can know exactly how much that click was worth to you. And so, the great thing about, well, how much do I spend on click-based advertising, you can understand exactly what the value is and then bid the amount that makes sense for your business so that you're preserving your profit margin at whatever level that you want it to be.
Well, this is an extraordinarily good fit, as I said, for small businesses where they're tracking every penny, and that small businesses have more options usually to pursue in terms of potential customers than they have time. And this will allow a small business to, have more reach, have more extension of themselves and their products and their message than they could maybe with just the physical resources they have at hand. So it's a great fit as well. I think we have time for a couple more questions. Does Google Places show up based on keywords like organic searches?
The answer to that is definitely yes. Google Places is a way for business owners to correct and enhance, their business representation inside of Google. That shows up whenever users type in keywords into Google search, whether that's in a browser, on a mobile phone, or anywhere else where a user encounters Google search. So if I'm typing cooking classes Washington, D.C., there'll be a list, a summary of businesses. It's the 10-pack, the 7-pack. There are different ways that shows up. But that information comes from Google Places. And so you want to make sure that it's accurate, number one, and that, number two, you're putting your best foot forward in improving that with photos and things of that nature. But it definitely is something that consumers see whenever they do a search on Google.
Great. And maybe one or two more questions we might have. Does this partnership include assistance on customer reviews and ratings? And how important is that? Do you do anything with customer reviews and ratings?
Cringe. Pick up the phone. Yes, we do. We don't extract them and post them on our website. If there's an issue, we address it. Again, as John was saying, it's just so important to know what people are saying about you. Whether it's on a blog, on a Yelp, on a Google, on a Frommer's, whatever it is, you need to know. Sometimes it's painful.
Right.
Sometimes
Even
you're so offended
painful,
because you think they couldn't be more wrong, or they completely missed the, But it's important to know, because otherwise you get to be thinking of yourself in a bubble and successful, and for the most part the business is going along just fine. I'm going to ignore that. The day you ignore any customer, especially the most dissatisfied one, is the day your business will start to dovetail.
Really?
Yeah.
Really important.
Down to the ground.
Really important to have. And maybe a last question. Is it typically better to focus on VC funding or an SBA loan in the early stages of a startup? So the answer to that is that all businesses are different, and it depends on the business. So we have at the SBA many businesses that are Main Street businesses, and we also have some really high growth businesses. We like to call them the next Googles, maybe. But we've had actually a lot of businesses start with SBA loans and SBA products. We have a number of products that actually help startups. So we have a big microloan product. We have 110 microloan intermediaries all around the country, and they are putting a lot of businesses into business and taking them, a small one, a home-based business, to the next level. So that might be a more appropriate loan for a smaller business. And if you have the potential to move quickly and become very big, you might also think about other venture capital financing. We do have small business investment companies, so we have about over 300 small business investment companies where we are partnered with investors to provide venture capital like early stage financing. So there's lots of opportunity out there. I encourage you to see your counselor to think about what financing is right for your business and your business ambitions. So I really want to thank Google for the partnership. I want to thank John for being here with us. Susan, you'll be seeing us soon. I think the business sounds fantastic, and we can do team bonding cooking experience, and then eat the food as well. Thank you, and with many thanks to Google for this partnership. We are very much looking forward to it, and we hope to benefit lots and lots of other small businesses like Susan's, have them grow and create jobs.